You know, this is a library, new library style nowadays. And it's under construction.
New library?
They call it 0 kilometer. You know why they call it? It's a big.
Why? Oh, okay,
Because
okay.
it's the center. That's why they call it.
So today we're filming as much as we can of Piazza, and I'll let you guys know what this is. This is one of the oldest cities in Addis Ababa.
That was cinema in Ethiopia. It's all the smoking.
So
Theater.
before we continue, I want to introduce somebody that's very special to me. He's taught me so much about Ethiopia, not only the current culture but the history of it. And it comes natural to him because he is a history professor. This is Yilma. Yilma, I want you to introduce yourself. This is Yilma. He's currently he's a professor of history. He teaches or teacher. What grade? Private school teacher.
So this is cinema in Ethiopia. So all the cinema theater in Ethiopia.
Yilma,
One of these.
before anything, I just want you to say hi.
Hi.
All right, so this is Yilma. Like I said, he's the one that's been my person of historic, I guess, lessons in Ethiopia. And he's a little bit shy, but he'll get over it. Now this is this is one of the oldest structures in Piazza. Piazza is one of the oldest cities, like I said before, of Addis Ababa. It's out of commission now. I think they don't show movies here anymore, right?
No, yes, actually. This is for
Oh. So this is one of the oldest theaters in Addis Ababa, and they actually still show films. But you know, around it they have commerce, shoes, restaurants, everything. So I don't know if you guys can see that in the back. That's one of the newest constructions. It's called 0 kilometer, just to show how recent it is, how new it is. Sorry if I'm squinting, but the sun's in my eye. Piazza is considered, I think, what I was told is the center of Addis Ababa. The reason Piazza is such a significant town is because it was one of the
Italians built most of these houses.
It was one of the first towns in the establishment of Addis Ababa, which is a pretty big deal, because that means that this town is over probably 100 years old, more than 100 years old. I know from personal experience that this is where you get the best, and I know that's just a small bit of information for what the city represents, but you can get good leather here. This is where most of the closest best gold and silver markets are. And you see this building right here? This is probably one of the oldest buildings in the city. Good Times Restaurant, Cafe, and Bar. What a good name to describe what you find here in Addis Ababa. Good Times. And then you see a lot of gold, you see a lot of
We're going to see a lot of gold.
yeah, we're about to step into the main section where you get all the good gold bargains, or just, you know, the main district for gold here in Addis Ababa. You also find a lot of leather. All right, we'll be coming back soon. So this was a hub for, like, how old are you? 20 something?
Wait, what?
50, 60 years ago?
Oh, at that time, no.
Teenager.
Teenager.
Okay.
So after that was a college side. Teaching profession.
So Yilma was telling me that 50, 60 years ago, this place was kind of the hub for teenagers or college students. I guess the thing to do, which is kind of like US malls, if you guys are from the 80s or 90s. I am. What it was is they would come down here, they would go to the theater, probably the one that you just saw back there. The movies would start at about noon, 12, but everybody would show up at 11, 11:30, so they would try to get in there early to stay in there for 3 films. So
With 50 cents.
with 50 cents
To pay. Yes.
so it was about 50 cents to get in and be able to just stay there most of the days. 3 films, which is probably 3 to 6 hours worth of entertainment, and that was the thing to do when you were young, I guess. It doesn't seem too far away from when I grew up, which was in the 90s. You would go to the mall, go to the movies, sneak into the other theaters. I don't know if you here. When you went to the movies, did you have to pay for each film or just
No. 50 cents for
3?
convenience.
Okay, so I guess here it was 50 cents. You got 3 films worth. Just because back home you pay for 1,
Yes.
but you have to sneak into the other 2.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see, but we're passing the jewelry district, and right now it's 2023, so most of these places don't have as much jewelry as the first time I came to Ethiopia, because gold and silver is in high demand. So yesterday we came to buy some silver for my mom as a gift, and there was a lot of guys on the street asking to see if we wanted to sell our gold or sell our silver, and prices have gone up, but you can still buy gold and silver way cheaper here in Ethiopia than you do in the States or anywhere else, most places. You also have electronic stores. A lot of these old buildings were repurposed, renamed for government. So this one right here is which one? You said this one was repurposed?
No, there is a name change it. We used to call it Moscow. Previously it was
Mos-
This is the famous tea room. The famous tea room. All people say no.
Tea room?
Tea room.
So I guess this is an old staple of the community, tea room. And then this building right here was, what was the name?
Mosvolt.
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 Yes. That's 1960s.
Sorry guys, I got the wrong building. This one. This one was Mosvolt. And now it looks like it's just residential areas, like apartments. During the 60s, just regular apartment. So it looks like the bottom is just regular commercial areas, and then the top are apartments. But after during the 60s, it was taken over by the government to do whatever they wanted. Do you need a specific license in Ethiopia to open a certain business, or it depends? Like clothing or pharmacy?
South. You have to pay taxes, that's why.
So one thing I do know,
Close.
one thing I do know about Ethiopia is you can get really nice suits. Like if you ever come here, you can definitely get a hell of a wardrobe, suits, shoes, leather shoes, whatever you need. That's one thing that I've seen that is very accessible here. By the way, just a quick tip, don't step over these. I was told sometimes they don't put them in properly, just like the one you're seeing now, and they fall through.
That's the Common Bridge. This one is the father of Haile Selassie. Previously, before he became Emperor, he was the father of Makon, is it?
Yeah.
His father was Makon.
Oh.
This bridge is the father of the family.
So I know you guys can't see the overpass part of it, but we're actually crossing over a bridge, which was built by or dedicated to? So it was built by the father of Haile Selassie. So Gambela Hotel, which is the one way up there, is the nearest structure here. But besides that, all this is from Haile Selassie's time.
Yes, I'll show you. So it's a fountain after Ras Makoni. A small fountain.
This side or this side? So right now we're walking over the bridge, which is this one. It just looks like a regular intersection.
That's a railway station. It's a new one. This is the turning point.
So if you guys can see the yellow structure over there, that's a new railway being built. There's dogs everywhere here. So that waterway you see, the little creek, if you guys can see it, that passes through the street right here, and that is where the bridge is that Haile Selassie's father built. So this is the father of Haile Selassie, dedicated to him.
And a small fountain. I think now this is okay.
They've turned off the fountain, but let me give you guys a closer look. That's the man right there. The father of the last emperor. And that was a fountain that was active, I don't know how many years ago. I'm gonna show you guys, give you guys a look at the park. How well you guys can see that, but by the way that guy hustling over there, that's how I noticed that most people get their cars cleaned instead of going through an easy express car wash. They get some guy to put some real elbow grease in it. I mean, at this part you guys just saw, see in the background, it's government funded. One thing I noticed about Ethiopia is that the government has put in a lot of money and effort in, you know, just creating spaces for people to visit, spend time with their kids. It's a pretty cool thing to see, because you don't realize how important parks are until you go to an area that's developing and you see the time they're putting into it. This is the crosswalk here in Ethiopia. Gotta be careful not to get hit.